Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Oh my gosh, and I am still awake. I am still awake. It is 10:30 here in Spain in the evening, and I thought I'd just come on and do a little chit chat. I don't think there's any mega news to talk about. No major developments in any of the cases we've been following. But I don't know about the rest of you, but I've had a very nice Saturday. I hope you all have had a nice Saturday or whatever day it is where you are. It's been a miserable day here, which has been nice because it means that I've just sat in all cozy. It's been raining. I haven't done any housework that I said I was going to do. I've just sat and watched films and listened to music and just been really lazy, to be honest. I've been very, very lazy today. So I hope you've all had a good day as well. So I'm going to say hello to everybody first, I think, which I don't normally say hello first. God, cough is dry. Well, it's not even a cough. I don't even know where it is. I think it's because it's damp. I've got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I just have some tea. Got a cup of tea. So, okay, let me just say hello to everybody who's here at the moment. And then hopefully, oh gosh, right, let's go to the topic. So, hi, Annie. Hi, David. Hi, Alana. So, it's already 28 degrees before 8:30 a.m. for Alana. Oh my God, that sounds like how it is here in Spain in July and August. It's awful that, because if you don't get in, if it's that before 8:30 a.m., you've got no chance for the rest of the day, have you? Hi, Katrine. You just have to try and get everything done in the morning, don't you? Because it's hard to do things in that heat. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Simon. I think I've missed some people. Hi, Mello. Yep. Melbourne. 36 degrees in Melbourne. I have been lazy today. I've been so lazy. I can't even tell. But I've had a nap and I'm still tired now. I could go to bed now. Hi, Mara. I may have said hello to Mara. Hi, Wendy Woo. Everyone's sort of arriving all at once. It's like when all the buses come at once. And so I don't know if I've missed people. Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne's been busy checking who's doing what. Oh, dear. Oh, I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I miss you, please say hello again. Hi, Selena. Now then, because I get mixed up sometimes. Hello, Misty. Hola, ¿cómo estás? You're practicing your Spanish. Hablas un poco español. Yeah, we could have a little Spanish class, couldn't we? No, that's. I think I'm too tired for Spanish. Hi, Maggie. I'm trying to say hello as everyone's coming in. So yeah, I sat and watched Legends of the Fall. Oh my God, that film. It just popped up. Hi, Abby. Which lady do you mean? Do you mean Samantha Murphy? Yeah, someone's been arrested. We have been talking about that on other videos, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit tonight. But she still hasn't been found, but somebody's been arrested and charged with murder. A 22-year-old boy or man, whichever way you want to look at it. Mariah wants to speak in Spanish because in Portugal they speak a lot of Spanish, don't they? I've been, when I went to Portugal, because I went to Portugal, I went to Praia da Luz to go to where Madeline McCann went missing. I went on location last year in May, and I could make myself understood in Portugal in Spanish by speaking Spanish. So, hi, Ali. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, was that and what it popped up on my Netflix account? Legends of the Fall. Let's have a look at the. I'm going to find the. Oh my God, I adore that film. I think it's just one of the best films of all time. It's very sad. It's like every time I watch it, I hope that it's going to turn out differently. It's mad. It's like I watch it sort of and I'm sort of hoping that this time, Tristan will get together with the woman and it'll all go, better. And of course it doesn't. Let's have a look. So yeah, this is it. The film Legends of the Fall. Two of my favourite actors right there. Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins are absolutely my two favourite actors. And actually, they're in quite a few films together. So I don't know if you've seen Meet Joe Black. That's another good film with Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt. And I think there are others. But The Legends of the Fall, it's quite a long film. It's over 2 hours. And it's the story of this family. So these three brothers, there are three brothers and the father, which is Anthony Hopkins. And then Julia Ormond, she's a brilliant actress as well. And she, like all the brothers, sort of fall in love with her. So it's like a bit of a sort of, it's a tragedy, it's a story of life in the, just after the First World War in America. But it's interesting, yeah. A very good film, but very sad. Yeah, if you do end up watching it, it's on Netflix at the moment. Just make sure you've got a big box of tissues handy. But I start crying right at the beginning, and I don't stop crying until the end. So I had a good cry at that. Felt a lot better then after that. And then I've just been listening to music and stuff, and just sort of pottering about and doing absolutely nothing. It's been great. Just one of those days. Okay. So yeah, rewatch it, Mara. And well, I'm saying rewatch it. If to me, I bet I've watched it about 5 times, but over the years, obviously not one time after another. And it was like there's things that you forget. I'd forgotten quite a lot of it at the beginning. So yeah, it's well worth a rewatch, isn't it? It's a very good film. Okay, so we're going to chat about a couple of things, just a couple of little things. Where do I start? Well, a couple of things that I prepared because there's some information coming out now about this boy, Patrick Stevenson, who's been charged with the murder of Samantha Murphy. There's a couple of things coming out now, a couple of details about his girlfriend. And I've just been looking through Reddit again. A lot of people on Reddit in the Ballarat community, and this is just Reddit, so this is pure sort of, speculation, but a lot of people on there are saying that his girlfriend told the police about it, and that maybe his sister knew as well. That he had said that something had happened, but there seems to be this general feeling that although the police said it was not an accident, didn't they? They said it was not a hit and run, but there's a lot of speculation on the Ballarat Reddit, which is only Reddit, so we can't take it as gospel. Hi, Heather. Hi, David. Oh, I haven't read the book. I didn't know there was a book. I would like to read the book. Sorry, I've got sidetracked there. Yeah. So a lot of people on Reddit are speculating that he accidentally knocked Sam over and then thought she was dead, and then he killed her. But of course the police have said it isn't a hit and run. So, we can't take what Reddit has to say as gospel. But there's a lot of people saying that, and a lot of people talking about his girlfriend. And I really feel for his girlfriend, because I just think, God, imagine finding out, that your boyfriend had done something like that. Now, listening to his girlfriend speaking, because you do hear a little bit of a voice on this video, she sounds English to me. She doesn't sound Australian, but I could be wrong. You tell me what you think. Let's have a look at this video.
Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh,
I think that's definitely an English accent. So this apparently is a little video on one of her social media things, where she's saying, hands off there's plenty more fish in the sea, hands off my clownfish. And then you see him, for some unknown reason, putting his backside near to the fire, and she's sort of saying, hands off my clownfish.
plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish.
I don't think, well, I know he's a young lad and he's messing about doing that in his underwear or whatever, but I suppose that's what things that young people do. But it doesn't exactly make you think, oh God, I wish he was my clownfish.
In the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish.
So what do you think? Do you think that's an English accent?
Clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
God, he nearly burnt his bum there, didn't he? I'm just going to come back now to the chat to see. It's not an Australian accent, is it? I think it's an English accent. Yeah, I think you're agreeing with me. We'll just watch it another couple of times.
Yeah, but that's my clownfish.
That's my clownfish. That is definitely not an Australian accent.
Hands off my clownfish, all right? Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, but that's my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right?
God, he nearly fell in that fire then. So, Meg thought she'd met Mr. Right in Patrick Stevenson, and then detectives swooped at dawn to arrest her lover for the alleged murder of the missing mum. So, yeah, I mean, it will have been difficult for her, that's for sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to turn on my other computer now. And I can make sure that I've always the videos are always coming through. Sorry, bear with. Right, I'm getting there. Okay, where's the article gone? Is that it? Where's the actual article gone? No. So here's the article. So the young tradie accused of killing mother of three Samantha Murphy showered his she's a veterinary student. She's a veterinary student. Meg, his girlfriend. Sorry, I'm just trying to get on. I forgot to turn my other computer on before I started. And it helps me so if I can watch. Sorry, I'm getting there. There you go. I'm there. Okay, so before their romance was turned upside down when he was charged with Miss Murphy's murder. So, you know, do you think I don't think she knew anything about it. Well, she's not been arrested. You know, I'm sure if she would have known something about it, she would be sort of, you know, she would be helping the police with their inquiries as well, I would imagine. But anyway, they were house sitting, weren't they? Oh, it says a family friend's property, because I wasn't sure if they were house sitting at his house. But it says here that they were house sitting a family friend's property in Scottsburn, 19 kilometres south of Ballarat, when police raided the premises on Wednesday morning. And they will allege that Stevenson deliberately attacked Ms. Murphy, 51, in Mount Clear on February the 4th after she left her Ballarat East home at 7 a.m. to go for a jog. And police have not made clear the alleged motive. Yeah, so we don't know, you know, they haven't made clear exactly how it happened, just that it happened. And he has been charged with murder, not manslaughter. So we have to presume that it's not a hit and run then. So anyway, before their relationship took a turn for the worse this week, Stevenson and his girlfriend, who studies veterinary technology at Charles Sturt University, were seemingly loved up and embarked on adventures typical of couples their age. So here she is, Pam, with him. And there she was looking after her horse when the press turned up, and she looks a little bit like Jess, I think, doesn't she? You know, when we saw Jess, Samantha's daughter, so upset at that press conference, she's got a little bit of a look at her, I think. Thank you, Rachel. Yes, don't forget to put your fingers on the fingerprints on the like button. Anyway, here she is, tending to her horses. I mean, you can't help but feel for her, really, because she's going to get the media all over her because she was his girlfriend. So, photos posted on social media show the pair embarking on holidays, festivals, camping trips with friends in locations across the country, including Albury, New South Wales, where Stevenson's father grew up, and Kangaroo Island in South Australia. Oh, I feel like I'd quite like to go to Kangaroo Island. Anyway, one video posted online shows Stevenson dressed only in underwear in front of a campsite and dancing. That's that video we've just been looking at. There's plenty of fish in the sea, but that one is my clownfish. Hands off my clownfish, all right, a voiceover proudly proclaims. And in a flirty message exchange in December 2021, Stevenson commented on a post of Miss Harbour in a bikini, saying, "I just saw your ad and I was wondering if this is still available." And she replied, "I'm sorry, it's off the market pending pickup." Another photo posted 3 months later shows them posing in a car and riding horses together on a beach while vacationing in Murray River in northern Victoria. with the adoring caption, "Memories with you are pretty all right." And there you go, a normal couple to all intents and purposes. And now it's all gone a bit skew-whiff, hasn't it? So now he's in prison now. And charged with murder. God, I mean, you just can't imagine. That must be awful. She's just a young girl. And there they are again in happier days. Now this sleeve tattoo on her arm, I think, you know, the video we watched of the of him taking some drugs and being, you know, enjoying himself as young people do. It's thought that that was probably her taking that video of him, but again, don't know. It's all conjecture. So several other gushing posts show the couple kissing at various events, including at Spilt Milk Festival in December 2022, and separately dressed up in formal attire for a night out in Albury. "Love you," Stevenson commented on one post, with Miss Harbour replying, "Right back at you, baby." And in another post, Miss Harbour joked that she was Stevenson's favourite sight, before he later chimed in, "Aren't we cute?" So Miss Harbour, now it says here the family has strong ties to Ballarat. She attended Mount Clear Secondary College, while her partner went to St Patrick's College and later Damascus College. And it's understood that her, him and friends were all out partying together in Ballarat the night before Samantha's disappearance, with detectives seizing CCTV from a number of venues as part of the investigation. Now you think, why did they separate? You know, if that's what happened, if they did separate, if they were all together, how did he come? You know, you just want to know how it happened, don't you? But of course we don't know yet how it happened. Poor Samantha. And as far as I know, I mean, it's daytime now in Australia, but yesterday, still no more news about actually finding where Samantha is. You know, we need to know, her family need to know where she is. She needs to be brought home. Why is he not telling people where she is? So apparently Meg refused to comment when she was approached by the Daily Mail Australia, but she was observed standing, sitting and blowing kisses at the horse. So who knows? Who knows what Meg knows? Who knows? But just want to know where Samantha is. The family need to know, desperately need to know. So, but anyway. Okay. Now, I want to show you a couple of videos. This is a short video. We may have seen this earlier this morning or a similar one. And then I want to look at a video with you that's just got like a summary of so far the you know, what's happened in the Samantha Murphy case, just to remind ourselves. And let's just hope tomorrow there's some news about the body, about bringing Samantha home. That's really what we want now, isn't it?
Samantha. We are learning more about the movements of Samantha Murphy's alleged killer in the days and weeks before the Ballarat mother of three disappeared. Friends claim Patrick Oren Stevenson went on a bender the night before she vanished, and new footage has shed light on his recent behaviour.
A snapshot into the life of Patrick Stevenson. In the weeks before he's accused of killing Samantha Murphy. It's alleged the night before the mum of three went missing, the 22-year-old was also on a bender at a Ballarat nightclub. 7 News has been told this video was taken a month before Samantha Murphy.
you know, somebody put in the comments, and I think it's true. If the night before whatever happened, he was in that state, you don't feel like he would have been that much capable of, you know, maybe he did run her over, because he doesn't look like he's sort of really, if he was like that, we don't know that he was as drunk or drugged up as that the night before whatever happened with Samantha happened. We don't know that yet. We're just presuming, because they're saying, you know, supposedly he was out on a bender. I'm sure they've got CCTV from him leaving bars and stuff. Maybe even got videos from his friends' phones. But yeah, it doesn't look very capable of doing a lot, but you know.
Murphy set off for a run on February 4 and never came home. Patrick Stevenson has been charged with Ms. Murphy's murder in what police have described as a deliberate act. Last night, hundreds gathered to honour the life of Ms. Murphy.
Actually, yeah, if the police are saying it was a deliberate act, it can't have been an accidental running her over, can it? A deliberate act. Why do they think that? Why are they so certain that it was a deliberate act? They must know something. They must know something.
But say their fight for justice isn't over.
We're not going to stop until she's found.
A lot of shock in the community, a lot of grief right now. We're just a little broken.
To lay the charge of murder. I think those words dealt us a blow.
Stevenson is refusing to cooperate with investigators, and police still don't know where Ms. Murphy's body is, reigniting calls to introduce no body, no release laws in Victoria.
I'm feeling very sad for her family. She's just an innocent wife and mother with, 3 children, just a family mother, and it's very, very sad.
Senior police say the investigation is far from over. Even though they had the 22-year-old in their sights for 2 weeks, they weren't able to speak to friends or colleagues, fearing it could tip the suspect off. Now that he's in custody, detectives are free to openly investigate.
There are lots of pieces to the puzzle, and it takes time to put that puzzle together.
Police are still hopeful they'll be able to find Samantha Murphy's body, the community too, refusing to give up. Stevenson will return to court for a committal hearing on August 8. Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at this summary now then, and then I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about Madeline Soto. But again, there's no real news at the moment, Madeline Soto, about whether her mum's going to be charged. But let's just have a look at this recap of the Samantha Murphy case before we start a little look at the Madeline Soto case.
Search and rescue operation is still underway as we go to air tonight to find a missing mum, last seen almost 36 hours ago. Emma.
Hi, Michelle.
O'Sullivan has the latest from the search zone. And Emma, the mother of 3, didn't come home from her morning run.
Mitch, police and family say this is totally out of character for Sam Murphy. The 51-year-old left for her regular run at 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and no one's heard from her since. Her run would normally take her through the state forest here, now the focus of a major search operation. It is heavily used by walkers and joggers, but there are dozens of trails to check. Walking through thick bushland and searching from the sky. Rescue teams spent the day looking for mother of 3, Samantha Murphy. Last seen leaving her Ballarat home to head out for a run at 7 o'clock yesterday morning.
It was a regular habit of hers to go out and walk the area or run the area, so she would have known.
Yeah, this was the first policewoman, wasn't it, that was talking about the case, and then she disappeared. because the missing persons took over the case, didn't they? What was her name? Let's have a look.
The day looking for mother of three, Samantha Murphy. Last seen leaving her Ballarat home to head out for a run at 7 o'clock yesterday morning.
It was a regular habit of hers to go out.
Yeah, this was the first woman, the acting inspector, Lisa McDougall. She was the one that was doing the press conferences in the beginning. And then they brought in the sort of big guns, if you like, didn't they? The commissioner, Shane Patton, I think his name is. And then they brought in the missing persons unit, and they took over the news conferences and that. And we haven't seen Lisa since.
And walk the area or run the area. So she would have known the area quite well.
Family and friends say Miss Murphy's disappearance is out of character. She took her mobile phone with her. Police now working on picking up a signal in the hope it will provide a clue to her whereabouts. After setting off for a run, the 51-year-old travelled less than 10 kilometres to the Canadian State Forest.
The SES are assisting us along with Forest Fire Management, and this afternoon we will have some assistance from our mounted branch.
Neighbours and friends joining the search party.
I've just rang some friends, ringing anyone I know at the moment who can come out and help us.
You know, I've known Mick for a long time, so yeah, it's really concerning. It's fantastic everyone's sort of rallying together to try to find Sam.
The State Forest is popular with walkers and runners and has dozens of trails. It's unknown which path Samantha Murphy took.
The community are the police's eyes and ears, and we really appreciate any information that may be of assistance being fed through to us.
Emma O'Sullivan, 7 News.
Now, sorry, just want to go back there a little bit. When it showed the trail there, what would a car be doing there? You know, you can't imagine that a car would get up these trails. So it can't have been a hit and run unless it was in a different area where a car could get. You know, it's very strange. Very, very strange.
7 News.
Specialist police are set to join the search for a mother of three who went missing after heading out on a morning run at Ballarat on Sunday morning. Cassie Zervos has the latest, and Cassie, police and volunteers are throwing everything at this search.
Mitch, Samantha Murphy's husband was too upset to speak publicly today, but told 7 News he's not giving up on finding her alive. With every passing hour, search crews are increasingly working against the clock.
The search for a missing mum is into its 60th hour. 51-year-old Samantha Murphy's mobile phone last pinged at a telecommunications tower 11 kilometres from her home. So far, that's the only clue police have. With every passing hour, concerns for her safety grow. Police will have to abandon today's search at 8:30 p.m. But tomorrow, they'll be joined by more officers travelling from Melbourne.
That could be my family member, you know. So, yeah, it affects everyone.
Mrs. Murphy left her Ballarat East property on Sunday at 7 a.m. She went for a run, something she did most days. But when she failed to return after several hours, her husband went searching. Today, hundreds of search crews, including SES and CFA, battled the rugged terrain, conducting line searches and scouring bushland.
There's mine shafts. That's the biggest concern, is that the mine shafts out there aren't very noticeable in some areas.
Locals upset by her out-of-character disappearance.
We've just seen this on, just on Facebook, so we just want to go out there and try and help.
They've now joined the wide-scale search, determined to help bring her home.
If it was our family, we would want everyone else in the community to get behind us as well.
Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
A distraught daughter has made a heart-wrenching plea for her missing mother to come home. The family went public to appeal for help to find Samantha Murphy.
So this was the press conference, the next press conference where Mick and Jess came and Jess really sort of I think touched everybody, especially Jess, and nobody was quite sure about Mick because, you know, I suppose, you know, looking back on it now, it's the typical male reaction. I don't know, you know, we felt that Mick's reaction was strange, but you just don't know what your reaction would be, and because we don't know what Mick's like normally. So
5 days after she failed to return from a morning run.
5 days of sleepless worry has taken its toll.
I'm Jess. I'm Sam's oldest daughter. Just on behalf of my dad and myself and my siblings, I'd just really like to thank our family and friends for just their continuous love and support.
It's the first.
You know, now some people are saying that they would have been at school together. That Jess, you know, because the police are adamant that there is no connection between. This is what they're saying. There's no connection between Patrick and the family. There is no connection. They didn't know each other. That's what the police are saying. But of course, a lot of people are saying, well, there is a connection because Sam did volunteer work in the uniform shop in the school he went to, and Jess and him are a similar age. And you know, but again, who knows the truth? You know, you can only take what the police say, really. That's what they say. There is no connection. You know, unless they're just saying that, but why would they? It's very mysterious, this case, isn't it? I mean, you know, when somebody was charged with, someone was arrested, it was like, oh, you know, fantastic, somebody's been arrested. And then when we saw who it was, or when I saw who it was like, what? You know, because of his age, etc. You know, it was the least thing I was expecting for someone like him. Out of all the possible scenarios of who might be arrested, he was not one of the people, you know, that he would not have been the face that I was imagining. And now it seems to be even more mysterious now since he's been arrested. It doesn't feel any better, does it? Because you know, or we knew that the police had already said that they thought that this was an MURDER, but at least, you know, I think when the guy was arrested, we thought that at least Samantha would be brought home to her family quite quickly, and now it doesn't feel like that. It feels horrible, and it feels even more mysterious.
First time Samantha Murphy's family has spoken publicly since her disappearance on a morning run last Sunday.
I know she's out there somewhere, so if you could please continue to search for her, to give us something to work with, we'd really appreciate it.
Loved ones are refusing to give up hope.
People just don't vanish into thin air. Someone's got to know something.
Mum's a really strong woman, and she's far too determined to give up this fight.
Daughter Jess addressed her mother directly.
Mum, we love you so much and we miss you, and we need you at home with us. Please come home soon. I can't wait to see you and to give you the biggest hug when I do, and to tell you off for giving us so much stress. I love you.
It's so sad because she's not going to be able to give her a hug, is she? But at least she'll be able to give her a respectful sort of send off. If that oh, it's just so. I'm so angry about him not saying where Samantha is, not cooperating, because that's the one thing that he could do to just redeem himself a little bit. And as I've said before, his family should be there making him do it. You know, they should be thinking about this family.
And from husband Mick Murphy, a thank you to friends for helping them get through.
The generosity throughout the community has been unbelievable. If we went and to accept all the food that would want to be cooked for us and like that, we wouldn't have to go to the supermarket for 12 months. You know, it's just really, really good. So thank you very much, everybody.
Search teams were out again today in force.
How confident are police that she'll be found?
Yeah, we're keeping an open mind and we're hopeful.
The search focused on the area of Mount Helen, 8 kilometres from Samantha's home and near the Red Line Speedway.
I'm aware that Red Line Speedway had an event there on Saturday evening, so if and I'm sure there was people camping overnight, and someone has to have seen something.
Long-term friend Virginia O'Loughlin doesn't believe Samantha would have taken any risks.
Sam is an extremely sensible person. Sam, I don't believe, but this is only my opinion, would be running in small tracks in the bush.
Do police believe there are suspicious circumstances involved?
There are no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage.
Earlier this week, police...
So that's where they were then. Remember that. No suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage. It was when the missing persons unit came in that following Friday after this press conference that they suddenly stopped searching, didn't they? So something they found something.
There are no
out.
suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage.
Earlier this week, police say Samantha's phone pinged a mobile tower in the area, but they're not saying if it's pinged towers since or if there's been any activity on her bank accounts, just that no stone is going unturned.
We're throwing all those resources at it in the hope that we find Samantha and get some answers for her family.
And that hope is keeping her...
That was funny that when she first said this, right, let me just say the accent, hang on.
In the area, but they're not saying if it's pinged towers since or if there's been any activity on her bank accounts, just that no stone is going unturned.
We're throwing all those resources at it.
I thought she said we're throwing all those racehorses at it. And I remember watching that the first time because of her accent, you know, her Australian accent. I thought she said we're throwing all those racehorses at it. And I thought racehorses must be a code name for something that I don't know. And of course, it's resources, she's saying.
At this stage.
Earlier this week, police say Samantha's phone pinged a mobile tower in the area, but they're not saying if it's pinged towers since or if there's been any activity on her bank accounts, just that no stone is going unturned.
We're throwing all those resources at it in the hope that we find Samantha and get some answers for her family.
And that hope is keeping her family going in the hardest week of their lives.
It's really helping us to get through and to keep us strong and to keep us motivated to keep looking and keep moving forward.
Ainsley Kosh is at the search scene this evening. Ainsley, there's new information on a key piece of evidence.
Mitch, yesterday police released CCTV of a woman they believe to be Samantha jogging past a nearby property. But in a twist, another runner has since come forward and identified herself as the person in that footage. So now really it's back to the drawing board as the search enters a 6-day tomorrow. Mitch.
Ainsley Kosh at Mount Helen, thank you.
The search for missing Ballarat woman Samantha Murphy has been scaled back as police turn their attention to her digital footprint. Bethan Yeoman joins us now live from Buninyong.
Yeah, that was so sudden, wasn't it? Remember that? It was like 1 minute they were saying, no, there's nothing suspicious like that. The inspector there said, nothing suspicious that we can identify at this time. Then the next minute, the missing person unit turned up and it was right, forget the search now. So something happened in that, and that was within 2 days. Something happened. They found something that just made them just drop the search completely. I mean, what was that, I wonder?
Beth, police have just issued a major public appeal.
Beck, police are now asking the public for all dashcam or CCTV from the entire search area and surrounding areas between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. last Sunday, even if it does not include the missing mother. Police say while there is no evidence of foul play, the fact there has not been a single sighting or sign to her whereabouts has them concerned.
6 days on from Samantha Murphy's disappearance and fatigue has set in. Today, only a handful of community members continued their search after police announced they'd be scaling back their operations.
And people are not wanting to give up. I've come across more mums out here looking for Samantha than anyone else.
5 days of
That lady has been interviewed very often, hasn't she? I don't know if she's anything to do
After
with
police announced they'd be scaling back their operations.
And people are not wanting to give up.
Yeah, this lady, obviously she's very distinctive with her tattoos, etc. But I've seen her being interviewed several times. And of course, what happened was the police scaled back the search, but the community, she may have been the lady that organised the search. It might have been something to do with Sausage Gate. But they wanted to carry on searching, didn't they?
Come across more mums out here looking for Samantha than anyone else.
5 days of active searching in dense bushland around Ballarat yielded no physical clues.
They will still be following all lines of inquiry. So we have 3 options here. One, that Samantha has chosen to leave. 2, misadventure, which is what those major searches are really looking for, as well as any third-party intervention.
Now detectives are turning their attention to technology, requesting all dashcam and CCTV footage taken last Sunday in the Ballarat East, Mount Helen and Buninyong areas. The only piece of evidence investigators have so far is Mrs. Murphy's phone, which pinged at Buninyong, 14 kilometres from her family home on Sunday afternoon. Tech experts say iPhones can...
I think they've got not only from a phone, but from the, I think probably the more information they've got has been from the Apple Watch, because, you know, that'll be all up in the cloud. And even if they can't find the Apple Watch itself, I'm sure they've got that data from that Apple Watch. 100% certain that's what have led them to Mount Clear, I think, unless it's actual witnesses or something like that.
Can still send signals up to 24 hours after they...
Hi, Charlie.
...run out of battery.
But otherwise, once the phone itself has been turned off, really the only way to try to figure out where it's been is the police could potentially access mobile phone tower records.
The 51-year-old's Apple Watch could also hold clues. Mobile reception in the search areas is incredibly inconsistent. Where we are now is down to 1 bar of 5G. Other places say SOS only, which means regular calls and texts can't be made or received. Police have assured the community if any new information comes to hand, the search will be scaled back up. Bethan Yeoman, 7 News.
Detectives investigating the disappearance of missing mum Samantha Murphy believe there could be more than one person involved. Live now to 7 News reporter Christy Mayer.
Hi, Rio. Yeah, and then this was a, you know, it's very interesting seeing this sort of recap. It's good that they've done this, because then the next minute, on February the 24th, they started saying that there was more than one person. They thought there was more than one person involved, didn't they? This is about 2 weeks later, they suddenly started saying there's more than one person involved. Now, they've only arrested one person, though, so far. There's a lot more to come out here, isn't there, I think? You know, you get that feeling.
In Melbourne, morning to you, Christy. Police now believe Samantha has likely died. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, then as well, they suddenly came out and said not only that, but they said that they thought that she was probably dead. Where did that come from? You know, or, well, we probably won't find out all these things until the actual court case. But yeah, so they went from nothing suspicious, then something was suspicious. They missed out that where the commissioner then said, oh, well, it probably is suspicious. You know, they called off the search and it kept going quiet, didn't it? And then suddenly they'd pop up. And then they came out and said, no, they thought she'd been murdered and it was probably more than one person. It was like a shock, really.
Well, sadly, that is the latest update from police. They have now wrapped up their search at Mount Clear, just south of Ballarat, after they spent the day there yesterday scouring bushland, but say they didn't find anything helpful to their investigation into the disappearance of Ballarat mum Samantha Murphy. Detectives have now revealed they think it's very unlikely the Ballarat mum is still alive. They believe one or more people may be involved in her disappearance, and we understand they have now executed multiple search warrants. New phone data led them back to Mount Clear yesterday, but Samantha's phone and her Apple Watch still have not been found, and we understand that police are now investigating the possibility that Samantha's body may have been moved from that area by car. Detectives are currently going through around 500 tip-offs from the public and around 12,000 hours of CCTV. Today marks 20 days since the Ballarat mum vanished, seemingly without a trace while out on her morning run. But Ballarat locals are certainly not giving up hope. They've organised another community search party setting out this morning at 10 o'clock. So,
all right, thank you very much. Christy Mayer reporting there.
Detectives searching for Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy have opened up a new line of inquiry. They're now trawling through mobile phone pings to identify who was in the area when the 51-year-old vanished.
Yeah, and then on March the 4th, they announced that they were going through mobile phone pings. Remember that? And a lot of people were saying, oh, why have they only just started doing that? But had they really only just started doing that? Or maybe they'd received some information about some phone in particular, we don't know what caused them releasing this information, but that was on March the 4th. So it was very shortly before the guy was arrested, before Patrick was arrested.
Hope Wilson reports.
It was 4 weeks yesterday that Samantha Murphy went for a run and then never came home. Now police are using a new tactic. They're going to trawl through mobile data to work out exactly who else was in
Hi, Amanda Jane.
The area in the hours after the mother of three disappeared. Once they have that information, they're then going to look at the backgrounds of each of those people, trying to find a new lead in this case. This is a new tactic from police, trying to find other people. They have used this data before to try to find Samantha Murphy. There are unconfirmed reports her phone pinged in the afternoon she disappeared, and then in the weeks later, it helped police narrow down their search area to that Mount Clear area. Unfortunately, though, that didn't give police anything else to work with. There are very few leads in this investigation. Police say this is just one line of inquiry. They are trawling through 12,000 hours of security footage, as well as working with hundreds of reports that have been coming in from the public. This mobile phone data has helped police in other major high-profile investigations, like with the missing campers in Victoria's High Country with Carol Clay and Russell Hill. That helped police lead to a breakthrough. They're hoping that can happen again. It has been 1 month since the mother of three disappeared. In the days after her disappearance, her husband said people just don't vanish into thin air. Police now trying to work out exactly what happened.
The son of a former AFL player is behind bars.
Yeah, and then this was the big news, wasn't it? This on March the 7th, then just when we thought, oh my God, what are we, is it all going quiet again? Murder charge.
Tonight, charged with murdering missing mother Samantha Murphy. Police allege the 22-year-old deliberately killed the Ballarat woman on the day she went missing, but they still haven't been able to locate her body. Her family said...
Yeah, it can't be that he knocked her down by accident when he was off his head or whatever, because they keep reiterating he deliberately killed her, deliberately.
The arrest has provided some relief in the face of 5 weeks of hell.
After an agonising wait for answers, finally a breakthrough, as police bring news to Samantha Murphy's husband, Michael.
Yeah, it's like someone just let the pressure valve off sort of thing. Hasn't been a good nearly 5 weeks.
An arrest 32 days after the mother of three went for a run and vanished.
The adrenaline with everything and that's what's going on is just, it's trying to be brave for everybody. It's something you wouldn't want anyone to experience.
The accused killer is a 22-year-old man. He's charged with 1 count of murder.
Sorry, so I'm just looking at what Mariah said there. Yeah, so I heard that. So there's been a woman's body found in isn't she been found in a bin or something? You don't think that is Samantha, do you? That's not her, surely, is it? I'm just going to have a look for that, actually. What's the name of that place? Geelong. Yeah, we just have a look at that actually, because this is murder investigation underway after. Oh, let me just share that with you. So yeah, murder investigation underway after a woman's body was found in a bin on the side of the road. Good God. But this will not be Samantha, will it? Oh, sorry, it's not funny, but it's like, what are those? If you don't laugh, you'll cry. They said investigators are treating the woman's death as suspicious. Well, thank God for that. You know, you find a body in a bin, it's likely to be suspicious. And it's, no. So a second crime scene has been established at a residential address, and the police believe the location is connected to the woman's death. Yeah, so that sounds like a domestic incident, doesn't it, perhaps? And then the poor woman's been taken off. You know, they thought they'd take her off a bit further away and put her in a bin. Horrible people. But anyway, let's go back to what we were looking at. So that's not Sam, but it's just another horrible thing, isn't it?
We're saying this was a deliberate attack on Samantha. We will be alleging that murder occurred at Mount Clare on the day she disappeared. It's my understanding this man is not known to the family.
Late this afternoon, a court suppressed the accused man's identity after hearing he would be at risk of self-harm in prison if his name was known. We can only say he's the son of a former AFL player. He was in custody for 32 hours before being charged.
This is highly unusual. You don't normally have them in custody for that length of time, but that can only be dictated about what answers you are getting, if any.
The Chief Commissioner revealing he has not cooperated.
He has not disclosed to police where Samantha's body is. We're calling on members of the public to help us, because that's our primary role now, to try and get Samantha back for her family. Any little clue could be vital in helping us locate her body.
The family need to know where Samantha is. They need her brought home. Everyone wants to know where she is, what happened and why.
It's a crucial detail in a case that's captivated the community from the start. Phone data shows within an hour of setting off for her run, Samantha Murphy reached bushland 7 kilometres away. But that's where the trail went cold. A search was launched in the Canadian State Forest, growing by the day. Police released security vision of a runner, then learned it wasn't her. Family members left desperate for answers.
Mum, we love you so much and we miss you. And we need you at home with us. Please come home soon.
The missing persons squad took over the case, and while locals searched, refusing to give up hope, detectives suspected something sinister, analysing mobile phone data to find out who else was in the area when Mrs. Murphy vanished. 7 News understands the accused man's phone pinged from that phone tower at the time in question. Police wouldn't say today which pieces of evidence led them to their suspect, but people have been asked not to speculate.
We'd like to ask the community just to be very mindful of comments they're making online right now. We don't want anything to...
There's that lady again, Tori Baxter. So she's one of the search organisers. So yeah, she's been very instrumental in the searches, etc.
to hinder the investigation.
There's praise for the support the public has shown the Murphy family.
The generosity and the support from the community has just been overwhelming.
It was important for me to stand here to express my appreciation to the public, the members of all those communities who've assisted.
The accused man will return to court in April, while Samantha Murphy's family begins a new wait for justice.
And Cassie Zervos was in court. Cassie, we're learning more about the accused killer.
Well, Mitch, the 22-year-old man entered a packed courtroom with his hands cuffed. He was still wearing the work clothes he was arrested in yesterday morning and showed very little emotion throughout that brief hearing. We are restricted with what we can say because of the suppression order, but it is his first time in custody. That suppression order will be fought again here tomorrow morning. As for the alleged killer, soon he'll be taken to Melbourne, set to spend his second night behind bars. Mitch.
Cassie Zervos, thank you. Now to Ainsley Kosh. And Ainsley, this case has brought the Ballarat community together.
Yes, Mitch, there's already been an outpouring of grief here in Ballarat. Many community members say they're heartbroken by this outcome, and this isn't the result they were hoping for 4 weeks after the mother of three went missing on that routine run. They're also shocked to learn the accused is just 22 years old, but the local mayor says this isn't the time to speculate about what has happened to Samantha Murphy. Rather, the community should focus on supporting one another during this difficult time.
I think even the notification of the arrest for many members across our community that began talking and thinking, yes, there is that breakthrough, all with the I guess, motivation at, will this bring some closure for the family? Now, when we know that a person has been charged with the offence of murder, our minds turn to the fact that Samantha has lost her life and will no longer be a part of her family ever. At special times, kids with weddings, Christmas, coming up to Easter. So that is a tragic event for their family.
Now, of course, the attention has turned to trying to locate Samantha Murphy's body, and police say that really is their focus right now. A vigil has been held. It will be held here in the community tomorrow, and the local community has vowed to try and help find Samantha and bring closure to her family. Mitch.
Ainsley Kosh in Ballarat, thank you.
Yeah, so that's a recap of what's happened. That was interesting, wasn't it, to watch it, to see it all together like that. I mean, obviously, we've been watching it. We've been keeping up with the story from day one, really, haven't we? But we haven't. It's good to see it all sort of itemised like that. And that's where we are, and that's where we still are, as you know, up to when I'm making this video. There's been, you know, the big development we're waiting for really at the moment is for when that twonk tells where Samantha's body is and she gets brought back to her family and they get a chance to say a proper goodbye to her, you know, and have a service for her, etc., and bring her back home. So that's what we're waiting for as far as that case is concerned. Okay, so we're going to have a little look now at the Madeline Soto case. Again, there are no developments really. The big question in the Madeline, well, there's a couple of big questions, of course. No one has been charged yet with Madeline Soto's murder. So for just a little short recap for those of you who maybe don't know what's happened. Madeline Soto's 13-year-old girl who went missing the day after her birthday on February the 26th. The very next day after her birthday party, her 13th birthday party, she went missing and then was found deceased. But before, she was in Woodland. Now, before she was even found deceased, her stepfather, I don't know if her mum and him were married. I don't think they were married, but her mother's partner, let's say, he was arrested because images, very graphic images were found on his phone, on his mobile phone, of a minor who is thought to be Madeline. He was arrested. He'd accidentally done a factory reset on his phone, but obviously thinking that it would get rid of these photos, but of course it didn't get rid of the photos. So the question really now is he hasn't been charged with Madeline's murder yet, although it seems pretty evident that he did probably kill Madeline. But I think that at the end of the day, the police have got enough to keep him in custody. So they're happy with that at the moment. They're happy with the fact he's in custody, and that gives them time to get their case against him for the actual murder of Madeline, get it all lined up and get all the facts together. And the big question that everybody's asking is, did her mother know anything about it? Because her mother, it was very strange, her mother wasn't at the birthday party on the Sunday. Her mother didn't go to the birthday party. And this is Madeline here in the picture, bless her cotton socks. Her mother didn't turn up at the birthday, didn't go to the birthday party because she was working. And then when the mother was interviewed afterwards, she's made many sort of conflicting statements about when she last saw Madeline. You know, did she see her on the Sunday night? Or then she said she saw her on the Monday morning. Then she said she took her to school. Then she said the partner took her to school. Then they both took her to school. And then it turns out she was never taken to school, because there's some CCTV has emerged of the twonk stepfather taking it with her in his car, and she was probably already dead. The police think that when this film was taken, Madeline was dead in the car, and then he disposed some of her personal items in bins, you know, those good old bins. But luckily the police managed to salvage the items, which was her laptop, her backpack, a few bits and pieces. Then there's a lot of speculation about Madeline in this photo, that about the dress. Was she pregnant? You know, did the mother find out? You know, you can imagine the speculation that's going on in this case also, because nobody knows. But the main speculation at the moment, I think everybody accepts the fact that he, the stepfather, Stephen Stearns, who worked for Disney World, worked for Disney World, and not only that, Disney World lied and said he didn't work there, but now a video has come out where he was working there. You know, you couldn't make it up. It's just awful. And at the heart of it is this poor little girl. She's had her life taken away from her when she's just on the brink of starting life, really. Her 13th birthday, you know. And it turns out that he'd probably been abusing her for at least 2 years. So since she was 11 years old. So it's just awful. But yeah, the thing is, did the mother, everyone said, what did, the mother is definitely has been covering things up. Definitely. That's not a question, because she said so many conflicting things. She has 100% been covering things up. But did she know, or was she just being duped into it, or could she just not believe that her partner would do that? You know. Anyway, she's not been charged with anything yet, so she's under investigation apparently, but she has not actually, as far as I know, up to this moment, has not actually been charged with anything, not even, you know, wasting police time or giving false information or those things that people get charged with when they don't tell the truth. You know, she hasn't been charged. So let's have a look at this. We're going to look at this. This is Court TV. And they are talking about this. Let's see what they think.
Girl, just 13 years old, Madeline Soto, had just celebrated her 13th birthday and then went missing on February 26th. Her birthday was on the 22nd. They had a celebration on the 25th. And this hour, we're going to go through 3 things that I want to take a look at. And I want to begin with an accidental release that happened. And this was a little bit disturbing, surprising. and not welcomed, I don't think, by the public in what happened here. It involves a crime scene photo. This is from reporting from Fox 35, a statement made by the sheriff. This is what the sheriff said.
Oh, this is
a post was made on social media.
I showed this the other day. This is not the one. This is not what I want to show. I want to show another one. Anyway, you can watch this while I'm looking for the
About
other
a
one.
community event for seniors. In the post, an investigative photo was accidentally included. The photo was immediately removed. We deeply apologize for any confusion or disturbance this may have caused, and that comes from the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. So what exactly was released here accidentally? Well, there's another post I want you to take a look at. This came from, I guess, a political opponent of that sheriff, the former sheriff who's running again, former Osceola County Sheriff Russ Gibson posted this on Facebook. The second photograph that I received was an Instagram post made by Marcos Lopez himself. This photograph was
Yeah, sorry, this is the one I want to show you because I showed you that one the other day. So it's this one. Sorry. Same guy. Different video. There you go.
I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. We're going to talk about a story. You're going to get angry. I mean, everyone's angry about this one. It's beyond the pale of what should happen to a young girl.
Hi, Jean. Hi, Ocean. Hi, Caroline. Anybody at Simon? As somebody else came in. Trash bag. Hi. Just I hope I haven't missed anyone.
We're talking about Madeline Soto. This was her 13th birthday on the 25th of February. She went missing the next day. Birthday party, 25th, missing the next day. Now, there's a suspect in all of this. He's in custody, but he's not charged with murder. He's not charged with abducting her. He's charged for what was found on his phone. Explicit images. Horrific images of that little girl. What's the connection between him and this little girl? That's his girlfriend's daughter. Apparently, he calls her his stepdaughter. We've got bigger news tonight. Now, the initial arrest was for what was on his cell phone, Stephen Stearns. That's his name. And the affidavit that was released was heavily redacted and didn't have a ton of information. It had enough that you knew what was on there was really bad. But a second affidavit has been released. It's not as heavily redacted and tells a more deeply disturbing story of what is alleged to have happened to this little girl. And I say alleged, but it's based upon images found on his phone. Okay? So all these allegations I'm going to be talking about from this affidavit are based upon what they found on his phone. Here we go. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephen's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted an apparent...
I just want to warn you, these are really quite graphic. So just to warn you, because it's not very nice at all. So if you're a bit sensitive, you probably shouldn't watch it.
Child. And then it references her private regions, her upper private regions, lower private regions, and the private regions behind, and the videos and pictures. There are also pictures and videos depicting a parent's child's private parts and horrific assaults. That's all I'm going to say. This warrant is to charge that the act occurred on August of 2022 when the victim was 11 years old. Remember that picture I showed you of her birthday? She was 13. This goes back to when she was 11. Based on the totality of the circumstances, your affiant, that's the detective, has probable cause to believe Stefan committed a sexual battery on the victim when the victim was under 12 years old. She's been suffering for years. Years. This monster's been in her house. For those of you who don't know everything that's led up to where we are now, I'm going to go through the timeline for you again. Sunday, February 25th. This is when Madeline celebrates her 13th birthday. She becomes a teenager. Most teenagers want to celebrate, and it's like a great moment. Hey, I'm no longer a kid, I'm a teenager. Now knowing what she has been through, I don't even know how she could smile. Her mom wasn't there at the party because of work. And later that night, her mother claims that she spoke to Madeline for the last time after the party. Next day, Madeline seen for the last time after she's dropped off near her school, allegedly, right? Stearns, the boyfriend, claimed to have dropped her off a little less than half a mile away at 8:40 because she was going to be embarrassed if she was dropped off at her school. Police suspect she was already dead at this time. February 28th, the search for Madeline begins. Wednesday night, February 28th, Stefan Stearns arrested on unrelated charges, not related to the disappearance or the homicide, but named a prime suspect in her murder. The charges at that time include sexual battery and possession of material, sexual performance by a child. This is sick stuff that he was recording on his phone, allegedly. Right? March 1st, Madeline's body is found off of Hickory Tree Road, 17 miles away from Kissimmee in St. Cloud, 17 miles from her home. Now, let's get back to the affidavit, because this is significant as well. Remember, these images that they find on his phone after he had accidentally done a factory reset on them, by the way. That's what he told investigators. Oh, yeah, you can take a look at my phone, but I accidentally did a factory reset. They still got the information.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, how stupid is the guy if he thinks by doing a factory reset, the police can't trace those images. I mean, he's totally thick, isn't he? But he should have thrown his phone away, shouldn't he? He should have got rid of his phone, but he didn't. He accidentally did a factory reset. Thought he was that clever that they wouldn't find those horrible pictures. He had to hang on to those photos, didn't he? It's like, that's like his badge of honor. What a creep.
Previously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant at Stefan's home address. This address is also where the victim, her mother, and Stefan.
Hi, blank faces. I can't remember if I said hello to you or not. Hi, anyway.
Live. They took images of the layout of the residence, okay? So there's pictures of the house. Based upon a review of the images from OCSO, execution of the search warrant at the residence, the room pictured in the images from August of 2022, these assaults on an 11-year-old girl, matched the rooms in that residence. So now we know the scene of the alleged sex crimes, which were on his phone, allegedly. It's the house. What about that house? What kind of house is it? It's a condo. It's an end unit, 2 floors, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, about 1,400 square feet. It's a nice little complex, but it's not a huge house, right? Two levels, 1,400 square feet. Now, what is this relationship, Stefan Stearns and this girl, this victim? The mother, okay, this is in the affidavit of the officer. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stefan Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at Hunters Creek Middle School. So that's what when this is still a missing persons case, that's what she says, that it's the stepfather. But they're not married. They've been together, I think, for years at this point, because we know the alleged abuse goes back years. But the mother
Hi, Neil.
refers to him as the stepfather. I wonder if she called him dad. Did she call him dad? Is this a cover? Is this trying to make it look like, oh, we're a normal family, nothing to see here? Or is that legitimately the way this family was functioning and operating? Now, in her interview with WFTV Orlando, the mom, Jen Soto, was asked about the last time she spoke to Madeline. Pay close attention to how she refers to Stephen Stearns in this interview.
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
Refers to him as her partner, but he's the stepfather of the child. Also,
Now, I just want to say I've been watching. I mean, she definitely hasn't been arrested yet. They say she's under investigation, but yeah, maybe they just haven't got enough information yet, the police. But I was watching, the body language panel. They seem, I mean, not that I really agree with everything they say, but just for an interesting thing that they said, because she looks scared. She looks scared. They weren't necessarily saying that. Well, they said there was definitely deception in the things she's saying, because she gives conflicting statements. But they were saying that she comes over as being scared. But whether she's scared of being caught out, whether she's scared of him, because don't forget, when these interviews were done, he was still there. He was still there in the house with her. It was before he was arrested. So I think we have to remember that. So whether she's changed the way she's talking now that he's gone and he's been arrested, who knows what she's saying to the police now. But that was their impression, that she was terrified.
to refer to him as his boyfriend. So they're not married. They're not married. I want to bring in a special guest in Los Angeles, board-certified forensic psychiatrist, a trial expert witness, body language expert, columnist. Dr. Carol Lieberman is with us. Dr. Carol Lieberman, few questions here. Let's start first with, what do you think of this relationship? The mom referring to him as the stepfather, not married, together, I guess, a couple of years, maybe a few years, not a long, long time. Should we read anything into that?
Well, I don't know necessarily about, because she seems to call him a couple of different things. But what this is an example of, and I think it's useful to acknowledge this, that this kind of thing, I mean, okay, we don't know all the facts, but it seems like this is the kind of thing that is happening really more often than people realize, where a single mother who's alone, who's lonely, who has low self-esteem, gets targeted by a sexual perpetrator. And they look for situations like this. And sometimes the mother knows what's going on, that they're having sex, and sometimes they don't. But when they do know, they decide, some mothers actually, call the police and right away and take care of the problem. But some mothers just are in denial or turn a blind eye because they don't want to lose the relationship. So basically, they're selling their daughter out. Sometimes it happens with sons too, for that matter. They're selling them out so that they can stay in this relationship, whether it's for financial reasons or emotional reasons. But so we don't know yet what this story is with this mother.
Let me ask you this. Is it possible that the victim, Madeline, in this case, this goes back to at least August of 2022 is what investigators believe. Is it possible that she wouldn't tell her mom, or there wouldn't be obvious signs to a mother that this is happening in this house?
Well, you know, going on for 2 years, I mean, 11 to 13, at least that's where the pictures come from. You know, and being in the same house, it seems very unlikely that she wouldn't have seen clues. You know, the daughter may not have told her, and that's, you know, there are all these psychological deep reasons for things. Like sometimes, you know, children do tell right away, or sometimes they tell eventually. Because they wanted to stop. But sometimes they're afraid, they're ashamed, they blame themselves. You know, and sometimes they recognize that the mother wants to stay with the man, so they, you know, don't want to ruin things. Sometimes they don't want to ruin the financial situation. So, you know, you would think, I mean, of course, they have 4 bedrooms, so that maybe made it a little harder, but you would think that she would have walked in on them at some time, which makes the birthday situation very curious. You know, they didn't have the party on her birthday, so why did they pick a day when the mother wouldn't be there? You know, did the boyfriend pick the date because he wanted to be alone with her after her party? There are so many intriguing things that we still have to see.
That are unusual, that don't necessarily make sense. Like, none of this actually makes sense. I want to take a look at Stephen Stearns. He did an interview the night after Madeline disappeared, which is also the day before he was arrested. Again, this is from WFTV in Orlando. We have that video. Let's watch it together.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day in school when she got out. I love her. I said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be. And we're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
I mean, this was like, this was just textbook sort of liar, wasn't it? With that stupid hat on, which I'm still not sure why he had a hat on in the house like that. You know, did he have any marks or... of course, we don't know how Madeline died yet either, because the results of the autopsy have not been released. When the results of the autopsy are released, you know, then we'll know how she died, how he killed her, and we'll know then for certain as well if she was pregnant or not.
It's hard not to. It just keeps coming in waves. This reality keeps hitting. And we don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home. Conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive and none of it's helpful. We just want a baby girl back.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, your thoughts?
In some ways, it's convincing, a good performance, and in other ways, you know, it's overacting. But I saw an interview of him where he talked about how he blamed himself because he didn't walk her up to the door of the school, and that he should have done that, you know, because he was thinking, or he was trying to pretend that somebody took her in between the time that he dropped her off and the time that she actually entered the school. Of course, we know she didn't enter the school, but you know, it just oozes with psychopathy. I'll tell you that.
Let's take a look now at Jen Soto. She did an interview. She had a message for the viewers that were watching. Again, this is when her daughter's missing. This is from WFTV. Let's take a look at her response.
We are desperate for any answers, anything that you could do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, what are you seeing and hearing from Mom there?
Well, that also doesn't really ring true, but it does seem like she is very sad, that she is scared and sad, although by then she probably knew that her daughter was dead. But so it's not as phony as his, but I mean, it's more quietly phony, like that, because there's some real emotion of being upset about what could have happened to her.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, great to have you with us tonight. Great insight. Appreciate your time. I know it's valuable, and I know we'll be speaking again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, when we come back, we are going to bring in our live in-studio think tank. And look who's in town from the West Coast, Brian Watkins with Molly Palmer and Daryl Cohen. That's next.
Well, going on for 2 years, I've been 11 to 13, at least that's where the pictures come from. And being in the same house, it seems very unlikely that she wouldn't have seen clues. The daughter may not have told her, and that's, there are all these psychological deep reasons for things. Like sometimes, children do tell right away, or sometimes they tell eventually, because they wanted to stop. But sometimes they're afraid.
I do think in that last bit then, when the mother was talking, when she was asking, if you see Madeline, just bring her home. She did look like she knew there. I think that's the first time I've sort of watched it and thought, no, she did look like she knew. How is she not been arrested yet, though? I suppose they've got to prove how they've got to get the evidence together that she knew. She has lawyered up now as well. She's got a lawyer. She's got a defense lawyer. So, she's be taking advice from her lawyer. But she'll get arrested in the end. If there is something there, she will get arrested.
They're ashamed. They blame themselves. And sometimes they recognize that the mother wants to stay with the man, so they, don't want to ruin things. Sometimes they don't want to ruin the financial situation. So, you would think, of course they have 4 bedrooms, so that maybe made it a little harder, but you would think that she would have walked in on them at some time, which makes the birthday situation very curious. They didn't have...
Well, on one of his friends' interviews, we've listened to a couple of his friends being interviewed, haven't we? And in the last interview we listened to, his friend said he stayed off work a lot. So I think he probably did stay off work a lot. Any time that when Madeline was off school, I expect he didn't go into work. And it sounds like Jen works a lot. So I expect he quite often engineered it that he would be on his own with Madeline in the house. I would imagine so anyway.
Have the party on her.
And we're talking about Madeline Soto. And the question tonight, a lot of people are wondering, like the mother, did she know anything? Did she have any idea? Because today's headline is that the allegations of sexual abuse started back when she was 11 back in 2022. So let's bring in our think tank. Join us live in studio tonight. Criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen. Also with us tonight, criminal defense attorney and Emory University law professor Molly Palmer. And finally, joining us in-house for the very first time, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Brian Watkins. Great to see everyone tonight. Daryl, do you think they're taking a look at Mom? Do you think they're investigating her?
If they're not investigating her, then they need to quit investigating. Because if she was there that close for at least 2 years and she didn't have a part in it, she had a passive part in it. And what happened to her daughter was unimaginable.
They're looking at Mom. That interview, here's the thing, call a lawyer, don't make statements.
Wait a minute.
No tears.
But let's start here. Let's start here. A child is missing, right? If your child is missing and you don't speak out and you get a lawyer, my child's missing, let me call Brian Watkins.
Yeah, talk to a lawyer, and then maybe you still make a statement. But that uncounseled media statement with no tears, I mean, I think that that's going to come in at trial. I think they're looking at mom. And here's the issue with the photographs that are found, you know, that we described in the affidavit. That is such a serious offense. It could be a federal offense, production of child sexually exploitative material with a very serious mandatory minimum. You can reset your phone. All that evidence is still there. They are going through all the electronics. Mom's under scrutiny. I think both of them are going to end up liable for a lot in this case.
The mom, that's her child. She has care, custody, and control of that child. So she's automatically being looked at, even by letting the boyfriend around the child. And so she's going to be scrutinized. Clearly, the boyfriend's actions are going to be charged. And she's going to be charged also by aiding and abetting him by giving that fake story to the news media. And I think they're going to use that news media story against her when she has these fake crocodile tears. And, you know, she doesn't act like...
I don't even know if she had crocodile tears.
I didn't see any tears, but what I did see, I thought he was very credible.
Yeah, no tears. Neither of them had any tears. Can you imagine if your child went missing? Even thinking about it, I could cry. Never mind if it actually happened. You know, it's just unbelievable that there were no tears, isn't it? From the mother especially. I mean, at the end of the day, he's the stepfather. I mean, obviously he's, you know, been doing things to Madeline, but he's that one step removed. He showed more emotion, to be honest, than her. And do you remember when we saw the video when she was comforting him? She's lost, it's her child who's gone missing, not his. And she was made, you know, like he was like this man baby, and she was comforting him. Ridiculous.
And if not for modern technology of having all of the evidence on the phone, and by the way, I tell people it never goes away.
Have you ever dabbed your eye and then you look at the tissue and there's no water there? Like, what was that?
Because he had great Kleenex.
What was that?
And had he called the lawyer would say, if
Wait a minute.
Factory reset your phone, it's still there.
Why
Don't
are
say
we
that.
calling lawyers if we have a missing child?
Because obviously, at least, I mean, in terms of what we've seen in the affidavit, there seems to be some...
Okay, are you advocating that innocent people with missing children, get a lawyer before they call police, before they talk to the media?
Always call a lawyer.
Yes.
Brian Watkins and Associates.
Do you think innocent? Do you think innocent people don't get accused? In this case, there's plenty of reasons for them to call lawyers. I think, you know, based on what we've seen in the affidavit. But even innocent people, before they get embroiled in some sort of media discussion about a high-profile missing child case, should consult a lawyer. Yes.
I'm talking about wait. I'm just changing the gauge. Like factually innocent. Like you did nothing. My child is missing. I'm going to call every TV station. I'm calling every radio station. I'm going on the internet. I'm talking to police. You won't stop me from talking.
If you have nothing to hide,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Nothing. You should go out there. Lawyers are great and we're necessary from time to time. In this instance, had mom been innocent, not guilty, but innocent, had he been certain
she's been charged with nothing
yet.
He hasn't been charged with the murder either.
He will be.
A lot of people are wondering that. How long is that going to take, Brian?
Well, you got to find out the cause of death. That's all they're waiting for. What was the cause of death of her? And I think they're going to link it back. So that's the charges are coming. They're just holding him right now on the sexual stuff. They got him dead ringer on the sexual stuff. The murder charges are coming, and all they're doing is just shoring up their case. Here's
what I want to know. There's the phone, right? So they've got the actual sexual assaults taking place on the phone, the metadata, they're matching it to the house. They actually probably have times for it as well, the time that it's recorded. Am I going back and figuring out whether mom's in the house?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
accomplice liability, complicity, always. In every single case, it's not just the actor. It's somebody who assisted in some way, either before, during, or after the fact. I think that we see accomplice liability all the time. And in this case, I think that mom is under intense scrutiny right now, whether she realizes it or not.
Okay, I want to take a look at something now. This was police when they were giving out information about the case, talking about some images they had of Stearns in his car with Madeline. Take a listen.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of.
Yeah, so this is where the police said she was never dropped off. She wasn't dropped off by him. She wasn't dropped off by the mother. She wasn't dropped off by both of them. She was not dropped off at school. So the mother has told a lot of lies. And this is also where the police say that they believe when they saw Stephen Stearns in his car, Madeline was actually dead in the car.
February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like he's just going to say now, point it out. So there you go. The police know that she never went to school. So everything that mother said about her going to school is either a cover up for him, for whatever reason, or a lie because she is completely complicit. So.
But in her interview with WFTV, Jen Soto, the mom, claims that Madeline was spotted on camera after police, as you heard, believe she's already dead. Take a listen.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
I'm confused. It seems she's getting that information from detectives, but they say that she's dead at 8:19, but they're telling her that they have video of her walking around at the church.
You know, the problem, if you lie, you have to remember what you said, and she's not doing a very good job of remembering what she said.
The detectives here are doing a good job and a bad job. You know why they did a bad job? They arrested him for the stuff that's on his phone. They never should have done that. Why should they never have done that? Don't tell them that they have that information. Bring him in, question him. Now he's all lawyered up. Now they're never going to talk to him about her, her missing, her whereabouts, what he did that day. What did you do to drop her off? Don't charge him. Hey, we want to bring you in. We want to talk to you about where she was. I'm gonna rehearse what happened when you dropped her off, rehearse what happened when you dropped her off, and just give him enough rope and let him hang himself, then hit him with all the charges.
So disagree. He could have left. If he is arrested, he goes nowhere other than behind bars. Had you done what you wanted him to do, he could have left. This is not a classy guy. He may not have been able to get far, but he may have gotten.
Then if he leaves, you definitely know he did it. Consciousness of guilt, flight.
We got him.
You got him before don't let him fly.
I mean, at the end of the day, this interview, I think it makes both of them seem as though they have no credibility.
And we have to remember, this is the point where there's a missing child. Right. And she's putting out information that her daughter was seen walking. She also said, we dropped her off. Yep. She didn't. And she later said, and why is she saying we?
Why is she saying any of this? I mean, this is going to be introduced by the prosecution at their trials, and it's going to sink them. And this is exactly
so you believe mom might be on the hook here? There's agreement across the board here?
No, I don't think she might be on the hook. I think she is on the hook.
All right.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Think Tank with us the whole hour. Up next. Her 5-year.
Okay, so this is another story we won't go. There's always something going on. Just as soon as one tragic story finishes, there's another one, isn't there? It's like it just goes on and on. Okay, so that's it for, we haven't got any more news about, as far as I know, any more news about Samantha or about Madeline. Tomorrow's Sunday. Well, it'll be already Sunday, is it, in America? I nearly said Africa. You can tell I'm tired. Gosh, my brain stops working. As far as I know, there is still no new news on Samantha as up to now. So we can just hope that tomorrow maybe the twunk will tell us where she is, and maybe Maddie's mum will finally get charged, or somebody will get charged finally with the murder of little Samantha. Sorry, little Madeline. So, okay. Yes. Have you all pressed the... Look, I'm having a stretch and a yawn. Good to go. I need to go to bed and sleep, don't I? So I'll be fresher again tomorrow. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm sure I will be doing a video tomorrow. Oh, of course, it's Mother's Day. Yeah, we don't really celebrate Mother's Day in my house. But you never know. Might be in for a treat tomorrow, but I don't want it. Yeah, everything seems to go quiet at the weekends, doesn't it, Wendy, with the police, etc. You never expect anything to happen on a Sunday, but I'm sure it's all still happening. But I think with the young lad, with Patrick, the police won't be able to interview him without his lawyer. So I doubt if his lawyer works Sundays, unless it's like an emergency or whatever. So I don't think it's very likely that he'll be telling them tomorrow where she is, unless he may just sit there and suddenly decide that he wants to speak to the police. Who knows? You just don't know. But yeah, happy Mother's Day to it, because it is actually Mother's Day now. It's not Mother's Day in Spain though today, of course, because it's English Mother's Day, isn't it? Or British Mother's Day. The Spanish Mother's Day is I can't remember when it is, but it's not today. Okay, so have a great time. Yeah, and you know, a little prayer for all our mums. You know, there's a lot of us haven't got our mums anymore, and so happy Heavenly Mother's Day to all our mums that aren't with us anymore. Thank you, Misty. Thank you. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody. 31 degrees for Alana, and she's got no aircon. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, is it May the 5th, Charlie? Oh, you know, I'm useless with dates. Okay, so night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Remember to live and love wisely, carefully, and until I see you again, may your gods go with you. Night, everyone. Thanks.